Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my personal notes from the book, The Alchemist. This is the first of my notes. I'm Dr. Prosper Tettey Doe. You are welcome to join me in these personal notes. The reference is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. The prologue, a few things that are said about this book. The story has the comic charm, dramatic tension, and psychological intensity of a fairy tale, but is full of specific wisdom as well. A sweetly exotic tale for young and old alike. This by the Publishers Weekly. And the Booklist states, beneath this novel's compelling story and the shimmering elegance with which it's told lies a bedrock of wisdom about following one's heart. A remarkable tale about the most magical of all journeys, the quest to fulfill one's destiny. I recommend The Alchemist to anyone who is passionately committed to claiming the life of their dreams today. So you're welcome to The Alchemist, the prologue, which will go on this beautiful journey, which is very, very promising, I can assure you. So just with me as we go through, and you enjoy every moment of it. It's also described as an entrepreneurial tale of universal wisdom we can apply to the business of our lives by Spencer Johnson. This is the type of book that makes you understand more about yourself and about life. It has the philosophy and is spiced with colors, flavors, and subjects like a fairy tale. It's a lovely book. This is said by Yedi Ot Aronot in Israel. Nothing is impossible. Such is Coelho's message, as long as you wish it with all your heart. The Alchemist, very important book to read and learn from this novel. It's about a man who sets out on a journey, dreaming of a beautiful or magical place in pursuit of some unknown treasure. At the end of his journey, the man realizes the treasure was with him the entire time. I was following my personal legend, and my treasure was my capacity to write, and I wanted to share this treasure with the world. So the author says, slowly, through word of mouth, the book finally started to sell. 3,000, then 5,000, then 10,000, book by book, gradually throughout the year. The Alchemist states, when you want something, the whole world, the whole universe conspires to help you. But it still took some time to sell, and slowly finding its audience in the United States by word of mouth, just as it did in Brazil. So we continue with a prologue. This book is widely considered one of the 10 best books of the 20th century. So why not read it, my dear friend? I've read it and made notes which I'm sharing. I am reminded that it is within our power to build a bridge to be crossed. Even if my neighbor doesn't understand my religion or understand my politics, he can understand my story. If he can understand my story, then he's never too far from me. It is always within my power to build a bridge. There is always a chance for reconciliation, a chance that one day he and I will sit around a table together and put an end to our history of clashes. And on this day, he will tell me his story and I will tell him mine, says Paulo Coelho in 2014. That is beautiful, isn't it? I hope you reflect on this, even as I'm also reflecting on it. Very beautiful book. Now we go into part 1 of this book. Some few notes that I gathered, even from this part 1 of the Alchemist. Very important lessons even to be learned from this book. You enjoy it, even as you go through it. We have to be prepared for change. And sometimes one is grateful for even a jacket's weight and warmth that can provide as a pillow. The jacket had a purpose, and so did the boy. The story says his purpose in life was to travel. And after 2 years of walking the Andalusian terrain, he knew all the cities of the region. So his travel continues. The Alchemist, a young boy who was looking for his personal legend. It says it's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting. And it's good to pursue personal dream. And life becomes interesting. Each day becomes interesting. Once he met an old woman who said, "You came so that you could learn about your dreams," said the old woman. And dreams are the language of God. When he speaks in our language, I can interpret what he has said. But if he speaks in the language of the soul, it is only you who can understand. But whichever it is, I'm going to charge you for the consultation. So there's nothing free in life. You have to pay for things which are valuable in life. And so we'll be pausing here for a reflection, even what you have learned so far. And the story goes on. The old woman said, "I told you that your dream was a difficult one. It's the simple things in life that are the most extraordinary. Only wise men are able to understand them. And since I'm not wise, I've had to learn other arts, such as the reading of palms." What other arts have you learned in order to be able to promote yourself to the level? Everyone seems to have a clear idea of how other people should lead their lives, but none about his or her own. That is said by the little boy. We'll continue picking the nuggets of truth from this book. Now, the old man whom this boy met also said it describes people's inability to choose their own personal legends. And it ends up saying that everyone believes the world's greatest lie. And one may ask, what's the world's greatest lie? It is this, that at a certain point in our lives, we lose control of what is happening to us, and our lives become controlled by fate. That is the world's greatest lie. That is never happened to me, the boy said. They wanted me to be a priest, but I decided to become a shepherd. That's what the boy said. What do you say? What do you want to become? Somebody change your course? The old man said, my name is Melchizedek. And he asked, how many sheep do you have? Give me 1/10 of your sheep, said the old man, and I will tell you how to find the hidden treasure. Now, this is where the decision comes. Nothing comes for free. The old man said, I am the king of Salem. And the boy asked, why would a king be talking with a shepherd? For several reasons. But let's say that the most important is that you have succeeded in discovering your personal legend. The boy didn't know what a personal legend was. And here comes. It is what you have always wanted to accomplish. Everyone, when they are young, knows what their personal legend is. At that point in their lives, everything is clear and everything is possible. They are not afraid to dream and to yearn for everything they would like to see happen to them in their lives. But as time passes, a mysterious force begins to convince them that it will be impossible for them to realize their personal legend. There is one great truth on this planet. Whoever you are, or whatever it is that you do, when you really want something, is because that desire originated in the soul of the universe. It is your mission on earth. Yes, that is your mission. What is your mission? And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. The universe will work in your favor when you have a mission. Clarity. Because you are trying to realize your personal legend and you are at the point where you are about to give it all up. Sometimes that's what happens. So don't give up. Press on. Dear friend, press on. People learn early in their lives what is their reason for being. Maybe that's why they give up on it so early too, but that's the way it is. Treasure is uncovered by the force of flowing water, and it is buried by the same currents, said the old man. If you want to learn about your own treasure, you will have to give me 1/10 of your flock. If you start out by promising what you don't even have yet, you will lose your desire to work toward getting it. In any case, it is good that you've learned that everything in life has its price. This is what the warriors of the light try to teach us. Tomorrow, at this same time, bring me 1/10 of your flock, and I will tell you how to find the hidden treasure. And the old man vanished. The old man vanished. Yes, what you learn, even at this stage, write it down in your journal. Here I am between my flock and my treasure, the boy thought. He had to choose between something he had become accustomed to and something he wanted to have. There was also the merchant's daughter, but she wasn't as important as his flock because she didn't depend on him. Maybe she didn't even remember him. He was sure that it made no difference to her on which day he appeared for her. Every day was the same. And when each day is the same as the next, it's because people fail to recognize the good things that happen in their lives every day that the sun rises. So is every day the same? Or you have a mission for each day? That's the way it always is. It's called the principle of favorability. When you play cards the first time, you are almost sure to win. Beginner's luck. Why is that? Because there is a force that wants you to realize your personal legend. It whets your appetite with a taste of success. Yes. In order to find the treasure, you will have to follow the omens. God has prepared a path for everyone to follow. You just have to read the omens that he left for you. So, are you reading the omens that God left for you? My dear friend, it's important. Yes. But if you can, try to make your own decisions. The treasure is at the pyramids that you already knew, but I had to insist on the payment of 6 sheep because I help you to make your decision. Don't forget that everything you deal with is only one thing and nothing else. And don't forget the language of omens. And above all, don't forget to follow your personal legend through to its conclusion. And he told him a story, which then continued to teach the boy the lesson. Meanwhile, I want to ask you to do something, said the wise man, handing the boy a teaspoon that held 2 drops of oil. As you wander around, carry this spoon with you without allowing the oil to spill. And the boy began climbing and descending many stairways of the palace, his eyes fixed on the spoon. After 2 hours, he returned to the room where the wise man was. Well, did you see the Persian tapestries that are hanging in my dining hall? Did you see the garden that it took the master gardener 10 years to create? Did you notice the beautiful parchments in my library? The boy was embarrassed and confessed that he had observed nothing. His only concern had been not to spill the oil that the wise man had entrusted to him. Then go back and observe the marvels of my world. You cannot trust a man if you don't know his house. So it's important. Yes. When he went and came back, looking down at the spoon he held, the boy saw that the oil was gone. Well, there's only one piece of advice I can give you, said the wisest of wise men. The secret of happiness is to see all the marvels of the world and never to forget the drops of oil on the spoon. What is the lesson that we learn even from this story? Write it down and to help you, yes, in future. So the story goes on, and the little boy continues his journey to follow. He said, if God leads the sheep so well, he will also lead a man, he thought, and that made him feel better. Yes. So the story continues. And the boy asks a man about how to go to the pyramids. He said, you have to cross the entire Sahara Desert. And to do that, you need money. And he needed to know whether the boy had enough. And this is the new friend he had to trust. It's important. Oh, yes, the Alchemist. It's an important story. Novel with a lot to learn from. And so at this point, we'll pause to continue with the rest of the story. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the first part of my personal notes from the Alchemist. And remember, when each day is the same as the next, it's because people fail to recognize the good things that happen in their lives every day that the sun rises. And thank you for your attention. And I hope you've gathered something from these personal notes. We'll continue.